Welcome back to Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holten. Today I have two guests. Okay, so these guests, you're going to love me even more. If you already have love in your heart for Brandy Von Holten, you know what? I believe in community over competition so much that I actually have two people in here that live in the same county and they do the same thing that I do, part of my business. But I'm here to share my spotlight with them, and I want to tell you all about their business because I want them to be successful, because there's enough business to go around to everyone. Okay, so if you are out there and you're in your career, you need to focus on community over competition. Okay, the other stuff just gives you way too much anxiety, and it's such a better thing if you focus on the entire industry. Okay, so here we go. I have Tony and Merry, and their last name is Kroeger. Okay, now you would think that that's going to have a U in that last name, but it does not. It is Kroeger. So Tony and Merry. All right, so nice to have y'all here.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you spending the time and taking the time for the interview. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're welcome. I cannot wait to tell everybody about y'all. So first of all, how long have you been married? Oh.
43 years.
Oh, she was looking at him to see if he was going to be able to say it. 43 years.
Yeah, it'll actually be 44 next month. So, yeah.
Okay, so y'all were married in 1979.
That is correct. Good
That's
math.
That's the year I was born.
Okay. Well,
It's been a few years, yeah. High school sweethearts, actually.
Oh, man, high school sweet. So, what was telling me something about high school then? Tell me, did you do a sport? Or what did y'all do in high school?
yeah, she was a sports nut. She was, basketball, volleyball, baseball.
He was National Honor Society, yeah. But first time I ever saw him, had a locker right next to his sister, and he come by and he talked to his sister, and I said, "Who's that cute little kid that you were just talking to?" And she said, "That's my brother." So that was kind of how it got started.
Well, actually, she said, "Who's that cute little fat boy?" Not just a kid, but
Trying
anyway.
to be nice.
Yeah, because I was about as tall, big around as I was tall back in that day. So.
Well, it seems like all boys do that. You know, they got that pudgy phase, and then they shoot straight up, and that's what you did. Yeah. So it's like they got to make sure that they're going to have enough calories to grow. So, like, a lot of boys are chubby for a little bit.
Yeah, after we got married, he grew 2 inches. I was going to send him back to his mom because I couldn't keep him in breeches. So, yeah.
Wow, I don't hear that story right there about them growing even after you get married.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So now y'all have 3 boys.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So and you've got 8 grandkids. One has been
Passed on.
One passed on.
Mm-hmm.
Of those grandkids, how many were girls and how many are boys? Did you ever get to have a granddaughter since you didn't have a daughter? You had 3 sons.
God has a great sense of humor. We have 1 grandson. And all the rest of them are granddaughters. So it's like, hello.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
Yeah. Trying to balance it out.
Oh, well, you know what? You needed some daughters. You needed some granddaughters. So one of your sons is actually just got elected to the Pettis County Health Board.
Woo-hoo, yes.
Yeah. And I'm actually on the Pettis County Health Board as well.
That's awesome.
So, and you know what? Our community really embraced us and our views. And 2 years ago, I actually won the largest election in the history of Pettis County. There were 10 people running for that health board right then. And
wow.
And now, so I came in first. 2 years later, your son comes in first.
Yeah.
And man, I'm so happy to serve with him.
Yeah.
So.
And he unites with your philosophy, your conservative views.
You probably don't remember,
hold
but
you in high esteem.
We actually had a sign out in the business for you. So
I remember.
Yeah, we put that up there.
Well, that brings us to the fact that you have several businesses. So before we get into the one that runs parallel, the business that you had where you had my political sign up, it is Old School Manufacturing or Manufacturer.
Manufacturing, yes.
Manufacturing.
And it's LLC, right.
And it's an LLC. Mm-hmm. Now, that right there, you have a Weed Zapper. So explain this Weed Zapper business.
Well, Mike and our middle son, Ben, both do some farming on the side, organic farming. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you can't use herbicides in that kind of farming. So they were looking for alternative ways to control weeds. Obviously, that's a big issue. And they had actually heard of a machine that uses electricity to kill the weeds. So they rented one from Iowa, paid like a couple $1,000 for a few days use of that machine. And then we found a couple of brothers in Illinois that had built a prototype machine, and they wanted to sell the prototype. They had a patent pending, so we actually bought their prototype machine, and then we've modified it and made it better and improved it. We've sold units to France, Argentina, just sold a unit to Australia last week, and we sell about 125 units a year, and a lot of demand for it.
Yeah, the Lord is really blessed.
Yeah, Lord
really
has blessed us with that. Yeah.
So
It's been a blessing.
this podcast that you're on, I've been downloaded in 39 countries.
Wow.
So this Weed Zapper, tell me one more time, what does this Weed Zapper do? What does it do?
It generates up to 15,000 volts of electricity, transfers that to a copper toolbar up front of the tractor that touches the weeds, and it explodes the cells in the weeds, which causes instant death.
Because if you know how electricity works, you've got a hot and you've got a ground. And so the bar is the hot that goes above the canopy. And of course, the weed is the conductor, and it goes all the way to the ground and just burns it at the roots.
Yeah.
Okay, so people most definitely want to have less weeds in their crops because they're organic farmers. So instead of using pesticides,
Yes.
Right, like
they
Roundup.
Herbicides, pesticides.
no Roundup. So this right here is a way for the farmers to have more crop, which is going to increase their income,
Right.
and then keep it safe for consumers.
Right.
Yeah, amen.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I love y'all even more. Every time y'all are like an onion that's not an onion. Every time I peel it back, I'm like, this is getting sweeter and sweeter.
As long as you're not crying, that's good.
So, okay, that is one business. Now then, let's talk about y'all actually co-pasture. You co-pasture, and you said that you preach, teach, and you play the bass.
That's right,
Okay.
yeah.
So that right there is at a church that is called the Abundant Harvest Worship Center.
Yes.
So tell us about how long y'all have been there and how your role has changed, and just tell us about the church.
Okay. 1993, we actually started pastoring, and the church that we began pastoring was New Creation Bible Church. We were right across from the Pettis County Courthouse for about 9 years. In 2000, actually it was about 15 years. In 2009, we actually merged New Creation Bible Church with the church on South Ingram, where we're located now.
So not
We
a
merged the
church
two together.
split, but a church merge.
Yeah.
A church merge.
We call it a
Church
church
knit.
knit, not a church
Not a-
split.
not a
So
church split, yeah.
we knitted two churches together, and that's our current location. And it'll be 30 years from the time we started pastoring this September. So
Okay. So tell me, what all have you done with the church? Tell me some things about it.
Oh, well, it's been a work in progress, because whenever we brought the two churches together, it took a while for everybody to learn to trust one another. I know that sounds kind of unusual, but, just being able to get to know the people and love on them and encourage them and spend time with the families and help some of the families understand who's Jesus to them. He's not just some mythical thing that they've heard, from a book, but they realize that he's a personal Lord and Savior that wants to come and touch their lives and wants to bring good things to them. And so it's a blessing being able to share Jesus with other people. We've done prison ministry. We've enjoyed doing a lot of that. That's been, life-changing in itself. So, yeah, just lots of wonderful things.
Oh, we have a Mennonite lady that we have this event that we host at Von Holten Ranch. We have a horse trail riding facility, and this Mennonite lady, she caters our meals for our Chicks and the Sticks. It's this all-inclusive women's event, and she got herself. Have you ever not done the math on something whenever you agree to it? Well, she agreed to make cookies and do a Christmas card for every person that was in a local prison. Oh my gosh, they end up having to make, it was thousands upon thousands of cookies in the cards, and they wanted to write a note in each one of them. So she was like, oh wow, that was a huge thing, but they got so much joy out of that.
Oh, yeah.
That now they do it every year, and it's the numbers, but the amount of positive that they've put into that prison,
Mm-hmm.
because there's sometimes there's not a lot of people that are writing a Christmas card to someone that's in prison
right.
Yeah.
or giving them a Christmas gift, and
Yeah, a
saying
lot of their
that.
families have abandoned them, and it's kind of sad. But we've done a couple of banquets, and those guys, we just laugh because they come in there and they would be skinny. They walk out and they look like those
Roly-poly. Yeah.
roly-polies or little bellies, because they ate everything they could just
Well,
possibly pack in.
Right.
It's just crazy.
I think the food we brought in was probably a little better than the prison food. So yeah.
Probably.
Oh, most definitely. So y'all have done that for over 30 years. So you said that you play the bass, like you play the bass guitar?
Yeah. Started out playing the keyboard, and then we had another lady that they also had pastored in the past, and Teresa Sherman, and she plays the keyboard, and my bass player was going to quit, and so we had to have a bass player, so I had to learn how to play
Crash
the bass.
course, and
Crash
here
course.
you go.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Well, and you know what? You never know what you're going to end up needing to do. So, like, for example, okay, Leroy Van Dyke. Leroy Van Dyke is a famous country singer from our area, okay?
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast, please look up Leroy Van Dyke. If you look up his resume, you will be like, oh my gosh, what the heck? This man is amazing. Leroy told me that you needed to allow yourself to change don't just get set in your ways. And you know what? Have you ever had somebody say something and it just meant more to you than probably what it needed to? But I really locked in on that, and I've actually put that in a couple of magazines before when they've asked me about how we've changed over time. But you've got to allow yourself to roll with that. If you needed a bass player, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now, we have a business that we realized that there was such a need for it in the homeschool industry and in private school where they don't have wood shop. Well, a lot of people want to learn how to do things like that, especially in school settings. But we've got this online wood shop class now where we send you all the wooden pieces. You build with my husband through video, and then I've made a curriculum that goes along with it. But we sell those to adult men also, because maybe their father was good at vehicles, or maybe their father was good at building fence, or maybe a row cropper, okay? Or maybe they were really good with cattle. Well, maybe they weren't a woodworking person, but then they were like, man, I really need to learn something. Well, we've created that online class. It's called Building with David, and we wanted it to seem welcoming instead of something that was way too difficult and you would feel lesser. So that's why we just put our first names in there, because a lot of people have difficulty spelling Von Holten. I'm sure they have a lot of difficulty with spelling Kroeger, with getting all of your vowels correct and in the correct order. Same thing with us. They always think it's Van Holten. They think I'm saying V-A-N, but we're V-O-N.
Yeah.
And then we have a second word, H-O-L-T-E-N. So we have Von Holten Ranch, but then we have Building with David. And then we also have online classes, which is Horsemanship with Brandy. And I teach mounted archery, and we have a complete USA-made product line. And then I have classes for if people are wanting to get into horses later in life. If you weren't raised around a horse, you have so much to learn. And so I've made a lot of people that take my class are adults.
I think that is such a fantastic idea, because I see so many people that really need that. And I'm really excited about what David's doing. I've seen some of that online, and that is really good. I watch the kids. They are so excited about it. I think you guys are doing a fabulous job.
We get a lot of girls. I thought it was going to be mostly boys. And if we got 12 students, 10 of them are girls.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And they love building. I don't know. I'm just like, I love that I'm 43, and every day, every year, I feel like I'm learning more. I'm getting more educated just on, I thought it would be boys. It's mostly girls.
Yeah.
And who would have ever thought that we would have a program to help out with homeschoolers and private schools, and we can even take our Building with David program into public schools, because I'm a certified teacher. I wrote the curriculum that goes along with it. So if they have a student that it's got to be gone for a certain reason, we can just send that to them, and they're doing something hands-on, so they're actually going to probably do it.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And there was so much done during COVID and all the lockdowns with online. Man, you guys have a niche already carved out there that
And now
it's
parents
really
don't want
amazing.
to go back.
Yep.
I don't
They
know
don't
how
want to
you
go back.
all.
They liking it too much. They're tired of the schools having control. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a question for you. What do you all do in your spare time?
Oh.
These people have it going on. We just did a kind of a tour around here, and
My
I can't.
goodness. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell
all
you,
the
you know
business
what?
ventures and all. Wow.
I am finding my health again. I will tell you, I don't know if any other women out there, but I gained 10 pounds a year for 6 years in a row. And you know what? 10 pounds a year creeps up on you. It's not even a pound a month.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have found myself where I am not, I'm trapped. The real person is trapped inside the body that you see. So what I do in my spare time, I've actually started rucking. So that's carrying a backpack that's weighted, and like it's supposed to be like this phenomenal workout. It's supposed to be the most perfect thing between cardio and weight training because it's a weighted backpack. It's supposed to be the best thing for you.
Yeah.
And if you never heard of rucking, is what the military does with carrying their heavy backpack. You can go to goruck.com and look up, they've got really cool supplies. Then I started freeze drying thing. I bought a freeze dryer this year because I'm like, okay, never am I going to be messed up with supply chain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to garden, and then I've been doing ice water baths, which I know that sounds really ridiculous, but the science behind those ice water baths is amazing. It helps with, like I had my leg broken from a horse a couple of years ago in one of my events, and my leg has been swollen, and like I got a couple of blood clots down there because of the injury. So, but with the ice water bath, by day 3, my leg looked normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, man, it's supposed to help with making your cells regenerate faster. It cleans up like the debris that's in there.
Wow.
It changes white fat to brown fat, which burns more calories. It's supposed to decrease anxiety. And I'm like, okay, sure is doing a lot, but I got to be consistent with it. So what I do in my spare time is I do things that's for my health. You know, and that's for, like, I'm a little bit of a prepper, but not a weird person with it. But, like, the whole food, like, I want to make sure I have enough food for 1 to 2 years at all time. So that's what I do in my spare time is I garden. My husband loves to make custom furniture. So that is that's his joy. And right now, he's gotten a new tractor, and he is, been cleaning out all of the woods and getting all of the debris out. And that man, what he does for fun is he works, but he gets to choose what he works on. He likes to have a task. So
That's good.
that's what we do in our spare
Well, I was
time.
actually teasing when I said spare time because I didn't think you had any.
Oh,
But
I don't have very many. I don't have very much spare time, but
No, you
whenever
don't.
I do, those are the things that I enjoy to do.
Sure.
If you love what you do, then it's never work.
Yeah.
It's never worked.
It's
Yeah.
never work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought one of those. It's like, what is that, pressure cooker? But it's not a pressure cooker. What is that thing called? An Instapot. I'm so afraid to use that thing. And you know what? I'm so afraid to use that. I've got to put on my big girl boots one day and just do it, and then I'll probably cook with it outside. I'm so afraid I'm going to explode it. But I'm not going to explode it because I'm going to read those instructions over and over again.
Yeah.
But that's my next thing is because I want to get where those things, you can make a meal from frozen to done in 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you know what? My fatal fumbles as a wife, I have areas to grow. Okay.
Don't we all?
So I forget to take the meat out of the deep freeze, and then it's dinner time and you're like, oh, man, I forgot to take the meat out of the deep freeze.
Yeah.
Well, with that Instapot, I think I can still
have a
lack.
salvation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So y'all bought a business, and here's the one where we both have an
joint love.
arena. Yeah, we have a joint love, and you've got a boarding facility. You've been bringing some clinicians in. So this is called Heartland EQ Stables, and EQ for equine.
Exactly.
Yeah, just shorten that up.
Right.
Well, and you know what? First of all, the name, I love that it's Heartland. And then I love that you put EQ instead of horse because it sounds inviting to people that own donkeys and people that own mules. It's it's inviting.
Yeah.
Not that the word horse isn't, but EQ, it just already is. It just feels more inviting. So
Right.
tell me about your life with animals, with horses, and tell me about this business and what all do you offer and where are you located? So tell us all about this business.
Well, we're a 50-stall horse facility that, and we have outdoor pasture renting as well. We kind of have a vision for all disciplines. I know that sounds kind of unusual, but I would like to see a lot of disciplines there, just simply for the fact I would like that whenever I started with horses, I didn't have anyone to really help teach me in a lot of things. And so I would like to be able to have it where there's someone that's around them that can help teach them. So if you need somebody, you want somebody that's English, there's going to be someone that's going to step in. In fact, we've got a gentleman that's a lieutenant colonel from the Air Force Base, and man, he is so good with the English. But he's not just good with the English. I had a little trouble with my Missouri Foxtrotter, getting it to gait. And I mean, within 5 minutes, he's got it going. And that's what we want. We want someone that can kind of cross over these lines and that can be a help.
Right.
I really see that the barn ought to be like a family where you've got an aunt that can step in and help and an uncle that can step in and help. And if we really are considering one another, we ought to be able to be able to help one another achieve our goals. And so, I mean, I really kind of see the barn as that kind of a facility.
Well, echoing your sentiment, you said community,
Right.
not competition. And
Right.
and really that's, we see that business as an opportunity
Absolutely.
to present a community. And I believe that we're seeing that come together. But again, I love that philosophy. And we absolutely will never say anything detrimental toward you, even though we are, I guess, competitors, but we don't see it that way. And just the fact that you contacted us, invited us to come out and see your facility. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'm going to come see yours
I'd love
because,
to.
and I'll probably attend some of your clinicians that you bring in because we used to be open over 350 days out of the year, and now we're open like 120, and we're really trying to focus. I mean, my heart, I need to live 3 or 4 lives because I have a list of things that I want to do, and I love my horse community, but then I am drawn to education. I mean, I was a school teacher for a while, and I am drawn to providing that service for them and for the joy that I have gotten to see in people whenever they get to build something and they're like, look, I built this with my hands. I mean, like, you know how like they say, oh, whenever you go fishing, you really doesn't matter that you're going fishing. Well, it's the same thing. Whenever you're building something, man, I'm building a better future for this whole country by having these kids believe in themselves. And then the fact that it's a USA made, I mean, like it gives me chill bumps on my neck. And, my heart is divided evenly amongst, I love horses. I've always loved horses. I got my first horse when I was 5 years old. His name was Blackie. And Blackie died my senior year in high school. And I've always, I'll love horses to the day that I'm, on my deathbed, I'm going to love horses. But I love people. I love people. And so, I don't know, I keep being divided up amongst things. So,
But it's interesting how you've divided your life between those loves and you're conquering each one of those. And that's why I said I really commend you because you've got the woodworking, you're doing these things with the homeschooling, and you're reaching out, even like the classes that are teaching on horses. It's so needed. I see you as being a great benefit to our community.
Yeah.
And I've started doing business coaching just because so many people don't. They have a passion about one thing, but then you got to be able to market that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, sometimes passion alone does not pay the bills. So I've got to. Right. I really love helping businesses take that next level and take a passion and turn it into an income source. But then don't let that become a monster and not allow them still to be an individual. You know what I mean? To still be able to put their family first. So I love the business coaching. I just love everything that I'm doing. And, the more that I just focus on that passion and the more it seems like things are, happening for us. And I did not, here, and I'll tell people, Like here I have Tony and Mary, and by the way, Mary is Merry, not Mary. Okay,
right, yeah.
Merry, like Merry Christmas, but it's Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did not know that their son was the one that is on the health board with me until they were here. I just seen them as the horse industry person, and I was like, okay. Because there's so many people with the last name of Kroeger around here. You know, I didn't know where y'all fit in, but I knew that you were owning the horse industry, you know, owning the horse facility. So I was just like, man, I want to reach out to them. I know they're new. And then I see you on Facebook. Y'all are doing some good things. And then some of your people that are just singing your praises, I'm going to give a shout out to Beth Cole.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Beth Cole was my treasurer for my campaign whenever I campaigned to be on the health board.
Wow.
And so what a small world.
It is.
And, you know, it's just, I just keep on, I'm like, okay, if Beth Cole loves y'all to death, then you automatically get a card into my life. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, you're in the horse industry. I want to be inviting and help y'all because there's some mistakes that I've made along the way, and I don't want to see other people make them. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
We appreciate that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So tell me something funny about, let's see here. Do you ride horses?
I heard you talk about your husband.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm probably in about the same boat there, I think.
Okay.
You know,
My husband does not like to ride horses.
We
He'll
just
do it
did
about 2 or 3 times a year, maybe.
yeah, we did a photo shoot the other day. Had a lady come out and, you know, snapping the pictures to put on our website and stuff. And she said, okay, Tony, you want to get on the horse? And I said, I'd rather not if we don't have to. I'll stand alongside, put my arm around the neck, you know, give you some poses here. But
Feed them some treats, you know, do things like that.
Yeah,
you know.
our son, not Mike, the one that you're on the board with, but one of our sons says, oh, I love horses. I've got a side-by-side with 50 horses under the hood, and I've got a tractor with 300. So I love horses like that. So.
Well, my husband is, you know what? He has a mare named Peppercorn. Now, Peppercorn, my husband likes, you know, like the pretty ones and stuff like that. And he's got a leopard Appaloosa, and she is a very distinct personality of a horse, and he just loves her. And I'm all like, ooh, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about her all the time.
Yeah.
And he told me, don't teach her anything special. Because I don't want to, he doesn't want to put his leg in it. Like I have like 3 buttons on the side, and he's like, I don't want to push a button and not know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just let her be a normal horse. And I'm like, she's kind of evil, but he loves her, and that horse loves me. And I think it's because I have standards for her, and I make her mind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But man, the first time we got that leopard Appaloosa, you know, God didn't want her to starve, so he made her pretty. Okay. Well, the first time I got her and I did groundwork and I pointed and then I clucked once, because I don't cluck more than once because then you're begging. And then she didn't move, so I just spanked her little butt. She turned towards me with those ears down and she ran towards me. So I was having to run backwards and I had to swing that rope to get her to stop. And I was like, oh, did somebody just tell you will work? And she was like, nobody tells me to work.
I am a diva. Yes.
Oh, she is a diva.
Yeah.
But now she's very loved by, because everybody sees a polka dotted horse. Well, they automatically think it's a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
So anyways.
You know, the horse industry, the horse equine facility out there, it's actually more my wife's deal. I said, I'll support you. I'll help you. I'll drag the arenas. I'll build some fence. I'll do whatever I can to facilitate your dream. So it's really more her dream, but I'm supporting her in that. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, you're living the dream here with that, happy wife, happy life.
There you go.
And it sounds like you got a happy wife. So
Yes.
that right
I'm
there.
a very happy wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So-
It's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have it any other way. So what kind of horse do you have?
Well, I actually have a Missouri Foxtrotter. She's a Palomino, and her name is Beauty, and she truly lives to her name.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, she's a joy and a delight. In fact, I was telling you about the lieutenant colonel that does the dressage and they do jumping. Well, she's got her jumping now, doing all kinds of things. So I mean, she does things. She'll do the barrel racing and have fun with that. And we also bought a couple of horses from a kill pen, which I know that's not the greatest place
Rescue
to buy.
mission,
Rescue
yeah.
mission, but it was a kill pen, and from Peabody, Kansas, and we've got them looking really good, and so I've got my big bow now, so he's my gilding, and he's getting fattened up and looking like a pretty boy, and we're teaching him how to gait, and so it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I have a Missouri Foxtrotter mule, but he's not gated. But he's something for sure. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
He's the one that I do mounted archery off of.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not gated, but he is smoother. Boy, he's as smooth as butter that's been left out on the counter overnight. Boy, he's just so smooth. He's allowed me to really excel in mounted archery because he's just that
So
smooth. But he's slow. But there's 3 different levels of mounted archery, and to be an instructor, you have to be in like the second grouping, the second level up, which is called a student, and they have a student 1 through 6. You have to be a student 4, which means that you can canter, and you have to, from start to finish, you can never break down. If you break down, it's disqualification. Well, with him being so smooth but slow, it allowed me to get more arrows out to be able to, so him being who he is, his goofball self, has allowed me to excel. So you have a horse named Beauty. I have a horse named Glamour.
Okay.
Okay. Well, she was named because I used to do a bunch of professional fighting, and I had 2 different fight names. I was the Lumberjack because I would do this kick called the axe kick, and I broke this lady's collarbone. Wow. And then later on, I became Glamour with the Hammer. Oh. So Glamour with the Hammer. So that's her name, but we just call her Glamour because I don't want to be like, come here, Glamour with a hammer.
Might be a little long.
For a little bit, we thought that horse was going to be my husband's horse, and we were going to call her Hammer, because he's more of a construction guy.
Yeah.
But then he does not get along with Glamour because Glamour doesn't just kind of follow along. Glamour will be trail riding, and then she'll be like, I want to go over there and get away from the group. So he's not a fan of Glamour.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, how do people find... Is Heartland one word?
Yes.
Heartland. And then where can they find y'all? I mean, I know you're in Sedalia, but do you have a social media presence?
We do have a social media presence. We're on Facebook, and it's Heartland EQ Stables. We also have a Facebook, which is Heartland.
That is that's what you just said, Facebook. But then the website.
Our website is Heartland-EQ stables.com.
Okay.
And so, you can find us there and also contact us. It's got our phone numbers there and the address.
So you've got a website and you've got Facebook. Those are your 2 jams.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
At the moment, yeah.
And you know what? That dash, we have a competition series that's called Country Tough Trail Versatility. And our website for that is country-tough.com because they just went and bought cool words that they thought other people wouldn't want.
Oh,
yeah.
So they bought countrytough.com, but they wanted me to pay them like $10,000 for it. And I was like, no. So I put the dash in there, and we have a whole page in our rule book about how it doesn't matter when you're born or when you die. It's all about your dash.
Oh, about your dash.
And y'all have got 2 dashes because there's both of you. So you've got Heartland-EQ-Stables.com.
Yeah.
So, guys, it's all
the
about that
domain
dash.
without the dashes was already taken, so that's the reason you came up with the dash.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So y'all put a dash in there for each one of you.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank y'all for being a guest on here.
Thank you so much.
And we'll
Our privilege. Thank
you'll
you.
hear more about Tony and Mary. And I'm always commenting on their Facebook page, but if you would, go check them out. And then do you have availability in your stall barn right now?
Yes, we sure do.
You have availability. Okay. Yep. Hey, for the 50 stalls, can you tell me a little bit about them?
Well, they're 10 by 12 stalls, and we can put dividers between them where the horses can see one another if you want. We provide both full care and self care. We are a little different because the stall areas are heated in the wintertime.
Oh wow!
So everything stays at 45 degrees. We also have
or above.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. The lowest it goes is 45. Right.
We also have automatic lights for them in the wintertime. In fact, it stays on all year. But I mean, in other words, they'll have summer lights. So if you're trying to do show competition horses, they will keep more of their summer coat
Oh, yeah.
You know, and stay sleek looking. So yeah, that's part of
Yeah,
what we
that
provide.
wooliness usually isn't very pretty.
No,
No,
and
it
it's-
isn't very pretty.
and it's
well, and pretty
disgusting.
sells.
Yeah, it
pretty
does.
sells. You
It
know,
does.
you gotta. If you're going to train, then you've got to look your best. Your presence is always needed. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ever go to a presentation without my shirt ironed. You know,
Yeah,
it's the
that's right.
same thing.
Right.
And we're also trying to build a bunch more turnouts where they're going to be larger turnouts where the horses can eat grass, just simply because we don't think a horse should have to stay in the stalls all the time.
Right.
Where they can get out and get some good sunshine and get some grass. And so, yeah, that's our goal. That's our new vision.
So we had talked about how we were in like the same realm. We have a boarding barn, but we only can hold 10. So you're a much larger boarding facility, but then we've got like a camping and facility. Like we've got 34 sites and we've got 75 stalls, but those are not for boarders. Those are for people that bring their own horses for the weekend and do whatever we're doing. So on our website is vonholtenranch.com, and Von Holten is VONHOLTEN, so vonholtenranch.com. And then our boarding barn, I think ours are 12 by 12, and then they have a 12 by 40 run, and then they get to use our facility. But we're only open for 10. And you know what? I kind of joke about this, but I'm a little bit serious, so get ready to hate me, okay? Because people either love me or hate me. But the clients that we want older clients. It sounds like you are wanting competitors. You know, maybe competitors, or they have that ability. Well, you don't want competitors. You want whoever wants to host their horse there, but that's just a luxury for them. If they are a competitor, then you're set up to help them.
Right.
But, man, on my thing, I'll just say it. I wish my first question was, have you went through menopause? If you answer no, then I'm going to send you to this place that's called Heartland EQ Stables.
Well,
You know, one of the things that I ask people is, are you a drama queen?
Oh, yeah. Well,
If
that's
you're a
why-
drama queen, I'm sorry, we're
yeah,
not
this
a
is
good
probably
fit.
not the place for you.
No.
It's
We're not-
going to be a place. It's
we
going
are
to be
a
a
no
peace.
drama, zero
no
drama.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
We
My-
get enough of that
That's
Well,
with all the other stuff we do. So
my friends and my clients, whenever I just joke around like that should be here's your questionnaire if you want to be with us. It's only one question. Yes, no. See you later. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in
Thank
to
you.
Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holten.